Good morning. It's Saturday, April Fool's Day. Hi. Today we're going to be cooking some camellia red beans. This is my favorite kind of dry beans to cook, camellia. If you find these, there is actually a recipe on the back that is pretty good for these beans, but I have my own. So what I use is a pound. I love Manda sausages, and that's what these are, a pound. I cut up. I didn't make circles. I made half circles. I'm using accent, Tony seasoning, which I always use, the black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. This is bay leaves, but they're like a little crumbled. They tell you use one bay leaf, but I put these like little pieces that I use. I'm going to use one small onion. This is like maybe a fourth of a red pepper with a little green onion. And I have some minced garlic here that I'm going to use. Alright, so let's get started with this. Okay, what I'm doing here, I'm going through and picking out like pieces of beans. That are, like if they have black spots or anything on them. Or you may have, sometimes you may find little pieces of rocks or whatever. So I lay them out on a paper towel and I go through, and if one is really, really black with dirt, I won't use it either. Everybody know how to pick beans. Well, you know what? Maybe somebody is brand new in the kitchen. Get over it. Okay, here's another bad one. See how it looks? So we'll take that out. So you go through. It's easier for me to just spread them out and look at them like this. There's another one. Really, you don't really find very many, but if mine look like this, where a lot of the red is off, I don't use them. There's really nothing wrong with it. It's just my preference. So what I'm gonna do, I take these, and while I'm getting the meat and the vegetables ready, like that little piece, I take that out. While I'm getting the meat and the vegetables ready, it's another one, I'll go ahead and soak the beans. Now, some people soak their beans overnight. I know this one lady said she put them in the microwave on high for 10 minutes to give them a quick beginning to cook. I just do my meat, add the beans, let them boil, and when they come to a boil, turn them down, put a top on them, and let them go. It don't take beans very long to cook. Now, if you're thinking about an inexpensive meal, this pack of beans, I paid $1.50, but I've gotten them as cheap as 99 cents before. You just have to shop sale. And when I may find them for 99 cents, whereas I pay $1.50 for one, $3 for two, and then 99 cents, I go ahead and get 4. And I don't cook beans that often, so 4, as long as the date is good, I can cook them for a whole year. Honestly. Okay, so I'm going to come back. Okay, here I'm going to actually boil these beans. And you know, when you boil your beans, your water is going to change colors. Now, that first water, I pour off of that. And I found that if you gain flatulence gas from eating beans, a lot of times if you pour that first water off, you won't have that problem. Okay, what I'm doing here, I took 2 teaspoons of butter and I added the onion, the little green onion I had, the garlic, and the red bell pepper to it. And I added a little parsley, salt and pepper, and now I'm going to add the sauce. Now remember, while I'm doing this, I'm also boiling those beans. And we're going to take that first water, that first fresh water. After it boils, the water is going to turn color. You're going to take that and you're going to pour that out. Especially if you suffer with gas or whatever, it's just best to take that first water off. So we're going to let this cook for about 10 minutes. And I'll come back and we'll add our beans. Okay, when the beans come to a boil like this, I turn them off and drain them because I don't want to cook all the flavor out, but I just want to take that first boiled water off. Alright, so here I'm going to drain this water off into a bowl so I can show you what it looks like. See the color? Okay. So here I'm adding the beans. Add some water just to cover them. Because I don't like my gravy to the beans to be water. I like mine to be thick, so I just cover it. And if it cooks down, I'll just add some more to it because I like a gravy like to mine. So it just covers. Let's just add a little bit more because as they cook, they do swell. So that should be enough right there. Okay, so some people add chicken broth because these sausages are flavorful. I didn't strain any of the grease out because sometimes I bake them in the oven, don't have that much grease, and I may use chicken broth in. But because I'm using whatever grease was in the sausage and the beans, I'm not going to add any chicken broth. To me, that's just a bit much. So too much sodium. So here they are. They are. Now at this time, I go ahead and add some seasoning. Little accent, not much, because remember I told you, to me, accent makes your food bitter. Add too much. My Tony seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder. I taste it and see, I may add some salt, but remember I added salt in the first layer with the vegetables, and then of course your sausage may have a little salt. So now all we're going to do is let this cook for about an hour to an hour and a half, and our beans are done, and it's going to have like a gravy to it. I'll come back and show you what it looks like when it's finished. And this is for someone who's never cooked beans. This is the color of that first water, and that's why I don't like to use it. Some of that may just be dirt, so I always pour that off. And like I said, it may help you with some people have gas after they eat beans, so this may help. Pour that first water off. Don't let it boil too long because then you're going to be boiling flavor off. But as soon as it comes to that boil, pour that water off. Okay. Okay, so here are my beans after an hour and a half later. See how thick the juice is? So if you get them and they're too watery, what you can do is take some of your beans like this and mash them up against the side of your pot. And it'll thicken your gravy up. I don't have to do it here. Okay. It's my little sampling bowl. I'm going to add a few of the beans in here so we can sample. Yes, I'm using a spoon. Very good. Very good. Okay.